Welcome back to Ali, Atrévete a lo Imposible, Season 1, Episode 7. This is our season finale, and today I have my beloved, wonderful, beautiful mother, Zoila Velasquez. How are you, Mom?
I am great, thank you. So happy to be here, sharing this great moment with you.
What do you think? What do you think about all this?
It's a dream that I can say that somehow I'm your mother, and probably you're gonna see some tears, but it's just it feels amazing. I'm so proud of you. I have seen you since day one, and you're about to be 24, and I have enjoyed the ride. It has been wonderful, and I'm so proud of you. And I know since you were little that you can accomplish things in your life, and I'm here to clap for my children, and I'm so happy that you're doing this, and I know there's great things for you to come. This is just the beginning.
Wow, Mom, I didn't think we were going to start with tears in the first 30 seconds of the episode. And I really appreciate that about you growing up. You never told me that I couldn't do something, ever. I remember I've always carried that with me. You never told me, like, Gabriela, you can't do this because, or you're a girl, or you can't do this because it's too difficult. You can't do this because I never did it. I don't think, for me personally, you never placed limitations on me growing up. And even, I think to this day, everything I do, whether, like, growing up, it was like guitar lessons, piano lessons. I played soccer for like 2 months, played basketball, and at all of those events, you were always there supporting me, and you never made me feel like I couldn't do anything or couldn't accomplish anything in my life. So for that, I'm very grateful. You helped me build my confidence even to this day. I think you being my number one fan always, and I'm sure I hope to be that for my kids one day, is to be as supportive and as loving as you were to me growing up. So I'm really grateful for that, Mom.
Thank you. And I'm sure you will, because you are great.
Thanks, Mom. So let's go ahead and get into it, Mommy. I know you because you're my mother, and I grew up with you, but the decision to bring you on as the final episode of season 1 for me was a no-brainer. I think it's a great way to end season 1 of this project. You are an incredible woman, and I'll let you tell your story, but I'm gonna sing your praises for a bit. You are one of the most hardworking individuals I've ever met in my entire life. I think you're also one of the most smartest individuals too. You are an incredible woman, and anyone, I truly believe that anyone that has met you would share the same feeling of like everything that you are. So I'm really excited for this. I think your story is incredible. I think you're one of a kind. I think you are such an amazing woman. So I'm really excited for you to tell your story to more people, because I've had the blessing of knowing you my entire life. So I would like to just go ahead and go into it, and I'll let you, talk a little bit about yourself. Who is Zoila?
I'm Zoila Velasquez. I'm 40 years old. 48, I'm sorry.
We'll say 40.
Wanted to be young. Well, I feel young. Well, I am one of 12 kids. I'm the number 5. And I was born in Guatemala. I came to United States when I was 14. And here I am. And I have 3 children. I have 2 boys and my baby girl. And my parents, they live in Guatemala. I have brothers and sisters here in America, and nieces, nephews.
You're a grandmother too.
Yeah, Soraya, I love my grandbaby, and another one on the way, and so excited. I know it's just a joy. It changed my life. Having your own children, it's great, it's wonderful, but having grandchildren, only a grandma can talk about that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. It's what do you think about this chapter of your life of being a grandmother?
It is a lot of people will say, "Is that your daughter?" And I'm like, "It's my grandbaby." So because of that, as you can tell I have gray hair. I'm letting my gray girl because I'm so proud to be a grandma. I'm young. I feel young. I'm young. It's just a joy. It is wonderful. I enjoy my grandbaby a lot.
So you spoke about your family, but you also have a cleaning business in Charleston. How long have you had it?
Have my business for 28 years, and it's been a great journey. I have met wonderful people through my business, and I have great friends, and I really love what I do. I enjoy, and it's just a great thing that I I enjoy. I enjoy doing what I do. So
How did you make the move from, because you've done a few other jobs before, right? Do you want to talk about that? What were your jobs before having your cleaning business?
well, I started working in a school, a daycare, which it is for migrant kids. I didn't know any English back then, and they asked me if I want to help because the children they cannot communicate with the teachers. So the teachers over there. They were just happy that I can understand a little one. They want to go to the bathroom. They want that I can understand the language. So even though I had hard time communicating with the teachers, I always needed a translator when it comes to communicate whatever is going on with the kids. But they were happy that I can understand the children. So I started working in there, and I really enjoy it. And I have my two boys, and I took them with me. I really love having my boys. I will drop them in a classroom, and then I pick them up after work. And I worked there for 2 years. And I have a sister-in-law who was working on Kiwa Island. She offered me a job there, and I took it. And it was great. I really like it. Then one day, out of nowhere, there was this sweet lady who walked to me and said, "Do you like to help me out with my house?" And I have no clue how to clean a house. It was a challenge because I didn't speak English. She didn't spoke Spanish, so I was kind of nervous. But something in me said, "Do it." So I started cleaning that house, and since then, that's when I started. And I left the company and I started cleaning for myself, and I love it. I really enjoy it because I can work around my children's schedule. And I think that was the main reason why I started cleaning houses, because I can be around my children.
So, how did you have the confidence to say, okay, I'm gonna leave a job that's paying me every 2 weeks or every week to say, all right, I'm going to go try to build my client base and have a business of my own? How did you find the courage to do that?
Well, I guess when you don't have much, you're not scared of losing anything, because I believe that life is full of opportunities, and if you don't seek for it, it will not come to you. I always think that there is more, and we can always do better. if you continue seeking for things, you will get it. And I knew that if you just work, success will come.
That's quite some wisdom there. So you were at a young age when you decided how old were you when you decided to start your cleaning business?
I was 19.
19. So 5 years before that, let's rewind. You crossed the Guatemalan Mexican border and the Mexican American border at the age of 14. At 14, I don't know what I was doing, but I was definitely like not at a level of courage or bravery that you had to leave your family and come to the States. How did you, for a lack of better words, how did you accomplish that? How did you do that? Like, how did you say, okay, I'm going to go somewhere that I've never been without my family. I don't know the language. No one is there. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. How did you find the courage to, pursue that or go for it and just say, okay, I'm leaving?
Hope. Hope. I used to lay it on the ground. Probably I was 7 years old. And I look at the stars and the moon. And I always ask myself, there must be something else out there when I cross these mountains. I always dream because growing on the little village, I have no future. I look at my mom with 12 kids. I didn't wear a pair of shoes until I was 13. We have a lot of needs, but I didn't know how big it was until now that I look back. At the moment, I just didn't want to have 12 children. And they always used to tell us, you're a girl, you cannot go to school like the boys because you're going to get married, you're going to have a husband, and you don't need to go to school. There is a lot of work around the house, and you need to help your mom with your brothers, with laundry. We didn't have water at the house. We used to go at the river and wash clothes and get water and help mom. I convinced my dad to go to school for 1 year. Academically speaking, I did not have an education, and I always wish different things for my life. So I think that's what hopes come. When you wish something from the bottom of your heart and you really want it, even though I have no clue how I was going to get out of there. I was waiting for a miracle to happen. My dad was an alcoholic, was very abusive to my mom. So I want to help my mom somehow to be out of there. So that was the hope I have in my heart. And that's when I decided I was not going to follow the same path like every woman or every girl at that time. That's why I was waiting for an opportunity to come when a young man who was 19 and I was 14 proposed that if I want to come to United States. Lord, I never heard what United States was. I have no clue how it looks like, or I cannot imagine. In my head, I was just blind. I didn't know what I was going to face. I didn't know how the road is going to be. I have no money. And he said, well, if I help you with some money, do you want to come? And I said, yes, definitely. I knew that was the opportunity that I was waiting in my life to be out of there and to help my mom and to get to know what was on the other side of the mountain, because I never went to the city or different places, I said, okay, let's go. So I told my mom that I was leaving because I wanted a better life for myself and for them. And that's how I started my journey. It was everything new. I never heard how it was gonna be or someone talk about it. We just came one step at a time until we came to Mexico, and we came to the border. We crossed the desert. So we were in the desert for 9 days. We have no water. We have nothing. We thought we were gonna die. Someone who was just driving around in the desert, and he stopped and offered us help, and we were so thankful that this guy came and rescued us and helped us out, and that's how we got out of there alive. But I will say hope that it has brought me here.
So for more context, right, about what it was like in Guatemala, you didn't have your first pair of shoes until later on in life. You had until your teenage years, right? Early teenage years. And then you only had 1 year of schooling. Give us more of a visual representation of what it was like. Like, I know from the stories that you've told me, like it wasn't even concrete on the floor of the house. What was it?
We have no electricity, no water, no roads. If I look back, I will say it was tough. It was hard. But at that time, that's the only thing we knew. And we were happy kids because we didn't know there was a lot more out there for kids. I look at my brothers and I look at my younger siblings with the need. Like they get sick and we don't have money to take them to the doctor. It was hard times now that I look, but at the moment I was a kid, I was just trying to help mom and try to play and try to live a life because I didn't know any better than that.
Mm-hmm. It amazes me that inner feeling that you often talk about growing up, where you say the story that you say often, that you tell often, is when you were laying in the pasture and you were looking up in the sky and you asked yourself, like, is there more out there? And you would even tell yourself, like, I know there's more. I know there's more out there for me and my future and the future of my kids, and there's some opportunities out there that I can utilize to then help my mother. To me, especially because you had zero access to anything else other than that. So that really, really amazes me to this day. And I think forever, it will always I'll be in complete awe of that inner desire to just aspire to be more. And I think you've definitely passed it on to your children. I can confidently say that. So you come to the States, you're 14 years old, you go to Florida first.
I came to Florida and with people from Guatemala. In Guatemala, there is, I believe there's 28, if I'm not mistaken, different dialects. A dialect that I did not understand. So it was so hard to communicate with my own people because I didn't speak their dialect. Even to borrow a broom, I wasn't able to communicate. And then go to the store, everybody speaks English. It was a total different world. Mm-hmm. And so we started working on the farms, picking tomatoes. And there was some people who did speak Spanish, and they translate either English to Spanish or dialect to Spanish. And it was hard. It was hard. That's when I started thinking, what am I doing here? How am I gonna do this? But I was so happy that I thought I was in heaven because everything was so beautiful. And look at all, when I went to a grocery store, my eyes was just like, wow, look at this food. I really, really was so happy. But then I have to face that we didn't make enough money. So we have to live with $20 a week for grocery, which we barely grab much because that was the only thing we have. We work hard to pay our debt because we have to pay the people who they brought us to Florida from Arizona. So it took us 8 months to pay $600. So we can be released from the place where we were. So as soon as we finish pay that money, we say, oh goodness, we're free, so we can leave. So there were some people who were coming to the farms to Johns Island, and we took a ride, and that's how I came to Charleston for the farms. So we continued picking tomatoes, and I was pregnant. I was 7 months pregnant when I came, and I work on the farms. I pick tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, watermelons. It was hard, but there was so much to enjoy. I was so thankful that I was surrender around food, people, and it was just amazing. I really, really was really thankful. Even though deep in my heart I was sad because I couldn't help my mom. But we continue. So it was time for the farmers to continue to, I think it was somewhere in Indiana. Because I never went. I was 8 months pregnant. The guy who gave us ride from Florida to Johns Island, he looked at your dad and say, we don't have enough space for you guys because your wife is pregnant. So there's no way how she can fit in the car because it was like 8 people in one small car. So your dad say, it's okay. We're going to look for something in here. And we met this guy from Colombia. He told you that there was a job with my friend to be a dishwasher. Are you interested? He has an apartment. He can provide housing for you. And he said, I would love to keep the job, but my wife is expecting a baby and we don't have a place to live. And he said, well, let me talk to my friend. And then back then there was payphones. He went to the store and called this guy and said, what did your friend say? And he said, yes, come over. I can come and pick you up from Johns Island. We have no car. And our baby was about to come. And we have no money. And that's how our journey started. And that's why we stay in South Carolina. It was in 1990. And my son was born on September 8th of 1990.
What was it like having a child at such a young age where you're also a young teenage woman? What was it like being somewhere where, you're just now getting to know the culture and maybe you're learning some English. Your husband just got a new job and then you are 8 to 9 months pregnant, about to have your first child. What was that like?
It was really, really hard because your dad worked from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m., 6 days a week. And I have to be in an apartment for 7 days a week. The only thing I have is a baby that when the baby cried, I cried. So we both cried, and I guess we enjoyed it. It was hard. It was hard. Then I met some people. I used to take the baby to the doctor. I met other people, so it was great. There was not many Spanish speaking in this state. It was like seeing someone. It was so excited. I love to take my baby to the doctor because I will see other people who speak my language, and that's the only time I get out of the house. We live in an apartment in West Ashley, and it was just right off 61. There was no place to go. There was cars all over, so I can barely walk. I tried to take the baby for a walk. And we don't have like a stroller so I can take the baby. So it was hard. I had to carry my baby around, but I was thankful that we have enough money to buy diapers. And sometimes we needed to buy milk. I'm really thankful for WIC. It's a program that the government helps to fund parents who don't have money. So it was hard, but also it was nothing to compare how I grew up. So I guess when you don't have much, you are thankful and you just happy to have what you have. And it was hard, and I got pregnant right away. Boys are 18 months apart. And that was a little bit hard because my baby was a preemie. I was not 7 months. It was not 7 months yet. So my baby weighed 2 pounds, 0.5. It was a tiny, tiny little one. And he stayed at the hospital for 3 months. And it was hard because we don't have no car. He was at the hospital. I wish I can go see him. So we barely found a ride. Maybe every Sunday we used to go see him. But doctors say he's doing great. He's hanging in there. So we're so happy to see him for maybe 2 hours every Sunday for 3 months. So I think that was really hard. But the doctor said that he was not going to be able to walk, or he was not going to be like a normal baby. They always tell us that be prepared. Be prepared. And we have a healthy baby. He's 32.
Yeah, he's running too.
So there is no problem with him, which it's great.
Was there a moment in your life after having gone through, all these challenges? Was there ever, or when can you pinpoint a moment in your life where you can say, you sat with yourself and you took a minute for yourself and you said, wow, I made it. Like, I did it. Everything that I had to go through was worth it.
It was one day at a time. And I was very thankful that I was in America. I used to hear this American dream all the time. And I felt every day that I was living that dream. To see my babies growing and provide for them. Even though I stayed home for maybe 3 years, taking care of the 2 boys and try to start working, I was just so thankful that my boys have clothes and they even have shoes. And they were not walking. And they have shoes. And I was just living the American dream right there. I wanted to work because I want to help my mom. So that was the reason why I started looking for a job, so I can help my mom. I wasn't able to help her the way I wished to help her, but I tried much as I could. It was hard, but I was happy. Very thankful.
So you went through the immigration process and you were able to attain your residency. How many years was that before you were able to go back to Guatemala and see your mom again?
21 years. 21 years without seeing my mom. Birthdays, Christmas, New Year, Mother's Day. It took us 21 years. Like I say, I have met wonderful people who have helped me out with any aspect. I have that in me that anywhere I go, I help people. Even though maybe not at the same way they have helped me out, but I try to give my best to anyone and to be real, because I have met wonderful people. My lawyer, my immigration lawyer, he really did a great thing, an amazing job. He traveled. Immigration, it was not handled in Charleston. He traveled to Atlanta, Virginia, North Carolina, because they keep moving the case around. And I was facing deportation because the papers, they denied my case. And my immigration lawyer helped me out a lot. When it became that he was sending me out the bill, he charged me for the stamps, for gas that he traveled. And he said, I'm not charging you anything. That was great. And they're my friends. They're my friends. And they're my clients, they're my friends, and I still work for them. And I really, really appreciate people like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have found great mentors. I have a friend that my kids were little. I met her and she was like, don't worry, we're going to help you out. And the kids needed, for immigration purpose, they needed a counselor so they can fill out paperwork for the immigration. So it was like $7,000 to $8,000 money that I did not have. And one of my clients said, I can pay for it. I'm going to help you out. And that feeling, it was just amazing. I already have my lawyer helping me out. And this lady helped me out. One of my through my clients, she helped me out. So until today, she's one of my favorite clients and she's my friend. And I have been blessed with wonderful people in my life.
I think one thing that you've taught me is to always help. And growing up, I remember being in detention centers because individuals had gotten arrested because they were driving to work. They got stopped. They didn't have a driver's license. And then they were taken to the detention center. And, for whatever reason, they were about to face deportation. And I remember because you had your residency, so many individuals within our community would turn to you as a resource and would say, hey, can you go see this individual? We're too scared to go into the detention center and even talk to them and tell them, hey, your family's here. If you need anything, if any money needs to be sent to you, right? They were too scared to even go. And I remember there were individuals that you didn't even know that we had. This was like my first time seeing them because you'd take me with you, and you would not translate, but you would communicate whatever needed to be communicated to them, and then you'd come back, you get on the phone with that individual's family members, and you'd say, hey, they said this and this, and then you'd help with helping track their case. And since I can remember, I think you and my dad always tried to make an effort to give back, even with individuals that probably weren't the nicest or probably weren't the most respectful. You both were always willing and happily giving back to our community. And for that, I 100% thank you both so much for teaching me that, because I think to this day I love my community so much.
Yeah, our people, our culture, we feel like helping, it's the most important. People have helped me with money, their time, and I didn't have much money to help them with money, but we try to do all we can, and we give our best to everyone. We just love our community. I have seen so many baby born in the hospital. I will stay at the hospital until 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I come home, and your dad was really great about helping others. So our heart, it's our people. Mm. And it's just the joy to help others. Mm. I really enjoy helping others, even little things. And I guess also I say it's because there is great people in my life who have helped us out. I hope that we pass it around to our grandchildren, to you children, that helping others is the most beautiful thing that you can do in life.
Yeah, I mean, I really admire your selflessness and how you have a very big heart and you're very patient. And I've always admired that about you, your desire to help others, your desire that, whenever you have a relationship or a friendship, you try to contribute as much as you can. You make an effort to radiate positivity at all times. There's been times in my life, Mom, where I feel self-doubt, and you've always been there to encourage me and to tell me that I am able and capable of doing anything I want in life. And I remember saying in high school once, everything I do is for my mother. I feel as though the opportunities that I have and the life that I have is because of you and my father. The fact that y'all took a chance. Everything I have, like everything that I want to accomplish in life is in a way like representative of you and your sacrifices and just everything you've done throughout your life. Everything you've been through. I feel as though I'm beyond blessed to be where I'm at in my life. Even on the bad days, it's a good day. So I'm really, really grateful for everything you've done. I love you to the moon and back an infinite amount of times. I couldn't have asked for a better mother. Even if I did, no one would give me one. But I couldn't have asked for anyone better. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you and for your energy. And I've enjoyed watching your journey. I've enjoyed watching how you consistently develop and how you embrace different chapters of your life. You are a very strong woman. You are my hero. I'm very grateful to have you in my life. So to kind of get back to the podcast, you've told us, okay, who is Zoila Velasquez? Your story is beyond inspiring. Anyone that I know and anyone that knows me well, or even knows me, knows that my mom is so important to me. You always have been. So as you're embracing this new chapter in your life where you are a grandmother, you're letting your grays grow out and you're embracing them. What is next for you? You are young. You are very young. What goals do you have for your future and for the next few years?
Well, when I become a mother, my goal number one, it was to raise wonderful young people. Your brothers and you were my number one project in life. And it was not a sacrifice. It was a privilege to give my all and my everything to you. I have big dreams in my life that I couldn't accomplish because I didn't have the opportunity that you guys have. Everything was worth it. To cross the desert, to do everything we did, and to go through everything we went through, it's worth it. Successful to me, it's not money. Successful to me is happiness. When I see your brothers and you become a wonderful person, and I'm sure you working every day to become better persons, to be humble, to help others, to be there for each other. It makes me so happy. Now that I have raised my kids, I see them. I see my son with his wife, a wonderful daughter-in-law, Jasmine, raising my grandbaby. It gives me a lot of joy. And now I can say I have done my job. I have a business, which it's going well. And I dream big, small step, long vision. I want to accomplish one more thing. I'm sure there was much more for me, but I want to accomplish one more dream, is to be able to give to my community where I grew up. I want to help out children. I was recently in Guatemala. I saw adults, teenagers playing soccer, and there was a group of kids that they were left out, playing with cans, with trash, kicking things here and there. I say, how about if these children can have something more to play with? I really wanted to have an organization, nonprofit, and help them. I want to do my best, and I know I will reach that dream before I die. If I die before I accomplish this dream, I'm sure someone else will continue that dream to help little ones. This organization will be different because I have seen people who go back to those village and do things for others, which is wonderful. But they go and see the needs. I am one of those kids who really wish to have a toy or have a pair of shoes. That's my dreams, to help others.
That's when you came back and you told me that this is what you wanted to do. I thought it's a perfect, it's beautiful. It's an amazing mission to be able to say, okay, I at some point that was me that was kicking around a can or that was playing with trash. Because of all these opportunities that I've been presented with throughout my life, now where I'm at, I think it's a good time to give back to my community and contribute to these younger kids that at one point was yourself. So I'm really excited for this next chapter of your life. I'm really excited for your project, and I'm really excited to watch this dream come to fruition as well, and watch how you succeed. I know you will be successful, and I know when you set a goal for yourself, you meet it. You're Zoila Velasquez, and whatever you want to do in your life, you do. Because that 14-year-old girl that crossed those two borders is fearless. She is determined. She is ready to take on the world without any self-doubt, and she is strong. And this version of yourself at the age of 48, I know that you still have that same fire, and I know that this project will be something beautiful. And I would even say that you could have 50 parks in Guatemala for kids. I think if you set that goal for yourself, you will do it. And I'm really excited to see how you take this on and how you absolutely just succeed in such a beautiful manner. So I'm really excited for this. Mommy, I am so grateful that you took the time to come onto the podcast, to share your story, to laugh with me, to cry with me, and to also just share your story with others. I admire you. You inspire me. I love you. And I'm excited for what's to come in your future.
Oh, thank you for having me. And one thing I would like to add, parents, invest in your children. That's the results right here. Love them and help them out in any way you can. I used to stay up with my daughter at 1 o'clock in the morning doing homework because she didn't like doing homework by herself. Since she was little and told, she went to USC. And young kids always keep dreaming. You will reach your dreams.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it. And impossible, like, it just doesn't exist. And you know, I think a big reason that this podcast is called Atrévete a lo Imposible is my mom. Because I mean, you've heard it, the story. It's incredible. It's incredibly inspiring. And my mother on a daily basis dreams and aspires for more, and inspires me to be better and to do more and to contribute more to society. But I appreciate it. Your story is a perfect example for the mission of this podcast and this platform. Atrévete a lo imposible. I appreciate everyone that has taken the time and has supported our season 1 journey. We'll be back for season 2 with more stories and more inspiration and more wisdom. Believe in yourself. Do what you love, and don't let anyone tell you you can't do something, because this is a perfect example, and season 1 guests are a perfect representation of that. They dare to take a chance on themselves on a daily basis. And you know, it's not easy every single day, and there are sacrifices that you have to take or you have to make, but believe in yourself and take it day by day, and you'll get closer to your goal. So thank you for tuning in. This is Ali, Atrévete a lo Imposible. This is season 1.